again.
There we go. Hello,
Start over.
everybody. We're going to start over. It is cold, 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 cold here in Wisconsin.
No, it's not.
It is. And I just got him out with a dog, so I know you didn't get out there with no dog.
Oh.
But last night, it was in the 40s, and I got hot and opened the window. So, but tonight's supposed to be a little bit different. I know Duty Ron's on at the same time, so
Yes.
we'll have a lot of people over there probably. He's discussing the Gabby Petito examination. I don't know, explained. I guess he's going to have some expert over there or something. If you got my message through the community page, we are going to go to 1 day a week until things slow down a little bit with us and we get in one spot for about a month or so, and maybe in the back after the first year we'll go back to 2 days a week. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you 100% on that because I'm editing three videos a week right now or more
Almost killing me.
on the RV channel, and we really are trying to get up past 1,000 subscribers on that channel because YouTube is putting ads on my page no matter, and I'm not getting a dime from it right now. So I need to get up to that 1,000 subscribers. But I had a bunch of my stuff that I had picked out to show y'all. If y'all were wanting to know about it and to show you, I did not download them to the page yet, but I can as we're doing here. If YouTube doesn't care if I show you some of my analytics. They might scream and yell if I showed you everything. But I'm going to show you the difference and everything. And it's not just about money, but it does cost us about $50 a month to run the channel at the very least, because with YouTube and vidIQ and StreamYard, that's almost $2,000 a year just in that. So it's probably a little bit more than that. It is more than that. But with advertising revenue, right now we're making about $68 a month, and I can show you that. But if you ever want to know what a YouTuber is making, whether it's Duty Ron, whether it's us, whether it's anybody, you go to socialblade.com, socialblade.com. And when you type, there's a little box or open box, you type in the YouTube name, like 1 Million Mile Road Trip, or you could type in the this channel, the Missing Live Stream, and then it'll come up and you click on the icon for our channel or whatever channel you're looking up, and it will tell you what they make per month and per year, and it gives you it might say from $10 to $2,000. It's always the highest number. Ours right now, it says we're making $216 a year. It's what they claim, but it's actually a little bit more than that. I don't know if they're not counting something, but or they're predicting with the way it's going that that's what it's going to be. But I was going to show you over here, but I'm waiting actually on Melinda. She is going to come on tonight, and we're going to talk about the indigenous Native Americans again that are missing in the United States. But while we're waiting on her, I will show you just a couple of things. And I'm, like I said, I don't want to, I'm not beating a dead horse here, but I am going to show you so y'all will be aware of it. This is what Social Blade looks like. The numbers from Social Blade, that they tell me I got a B minus overall on the Missing Live Stream. I'm ranked 5 millionth and something in the thing. In the United States, I'm ranked 310,000th. But you can see they claim I make $18 a month. It's the highest end, or $216 a year. But the thing it really, really is caused me concern was, and you can't see my pointer, but the subscribers the last 30 days were down 114%. We lost 10 subscribers. And over here, the videos viewed in the last 30 days. It was viewed 4,992 times. That's
4,492,000.
right, times. That's down 58%. We usually have over 10,000 views a month, but it just you
Can I
know,
say, I think that part of the thing is a lot of people get hung up on one or two missing cases, and to us, there's only so much more you can say about the Gabby Petito case or Suzanne Morphew case. There are so many missing people out there that we don't want to focus on the ones that we already know have passed. We want to focus on the ones that there's a chance that they can be brought home.
yeah, and you know, I want to show you one other thing too this is actually my page right here. You can see this is actually, if you went into my YouTube studio, these are the last few things that we put out over the missing. You can see the views. The views are down. Like we had they're monetized, but we're not making nothing on them. There's 192 views of the last one we did there on Ashley whatever that, I can't see that up there at the top of that. But let me go bigger in here.
Ashley Miller Carlson.
Yeah. Ashley
losing
Miller
people now.
Carlson. Okay. Well, I can't help it.
Okay.
192 views on that one video. And of course on Katie Cawthorn Update we had 925 views. But see there, we're not hardly over 200 or 300 views per video. That's why
I'm glad Katie's got that many.
you know, I don't know what to say, but we're definitely not doing something right. That is, and I don't blame anybody but myself. And that is just honest to God's truth. I don't blame anybody but myself. When we first started this channel, we were doing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people would view each of our live streams. We'd have interaction. We had people from all over the world coming. Not anymore. We had
That's true.
The last video was less than 200 people viewed it.
Elizabeth said, "Hey guys, please remember, a lot of us are no longer on lockdown and spend less time on social media now." That's true.
That is true. But
so you got to account for that.
But see, you got to think about this too. Duty Ron, for example, Duty Ron started his channel hard and heavy on YouTube about 8 months ago. He's got over 100 and something thousand subscribers.
Okay, so he's doing something we're not
That's
doing.
what I'm saying. He's doing something we're not doing. He's got over 100,000, and there's a whole lot of people that are out of lockdown and doing other things, but most of the creators have got 10, 20, 30,000 people viewing their channel every week. So I'm telling you, I'm not blaming anybody but me. It's me.
Are you boring?
I'm not doing something right. That's all I'm saying. It's not y'all out there at all. It's us. It's me.
Oh, it ain't me. I'm just sitting here.
Right. It is. It's me, and I'll take the blame for it.
I'm kidding.
But when I can show you my numbers and show you the biggest tail, the absolute biggest tail, and I know we got a whole lot more people in here right now, but the biggest tail on our channel, the absolute biggest tail, is this tail right there. I'm not talking about any money. I'm not talking about a dime of money. You can keep all your money. Take back every money everywhere. If I could just get YouTube to pay me what stuff they show over me. But we make, according to my YouTube stats, we make $68 a month off ad revenue, but it's down even lower than that now. But you can see, you know, when videos are not bringing in over 200 people watching them, or 800 or 900 people watching them like that, I found out people are not interested. They want to still talk about Gabby. They still want to talk about Landry. They still want to talk about Summer. And
there's so many other people missing. That's what gets me. Katie Cawthorn.
They're not interested in that.
She deserved as much attention as Gabby. What we're talking about tonight.
Look at this right here. Ashley
Carlson.
Carlson, 192 views, and that has been that thing. What I'm saying, 192. And if you go down here to this one right here, 272. That was put out October the 19th. So I'm just saying, I think people would us rather us be talking about Gabby, or I don't know what I'm doing here right now. They'd rather us be talking about Gabby, or they'd rather us be talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter telling, I watched this thing. He believes that there's a 50-50 chance on Laundry being alive. So maybe we ought to start talking about that. Is saying
You can
you
talk
know
about that the first 10 minutes of every show, but the rest of the
yeah,
the
people
channel,
not interested in
stop.
that, Dana.
Our people are, they're here.
Well,
The-
that's right. We have
So, but these, what we're talking about
we
tonight
have
is important.
But we have loyal people that stay on this channel, that about 20 or 30 of them that come every single time, maybe 100, that are absolutely loyal, and we love y'all to death. But nobody, I'm convinced that nobody else out there cares, because we're averaging 200 people look at our videos every week. Every time, about 200 people. So
Well, now I'm going to tell y'all
I'm
something.
disgruntled about it. I'll be honest with
Well,
you.
you don't need to be. I'm going to tell y'all tonight. I don't know. I didn't know this, and I'm over 60 years old. You're going to learn something tonight that I bet you didn't know.
On the back of the video.
On the back of the video. Stick around to the end. I promise you, I was shocked, and he was shocked when I showed him. So we've got pictures to prove it, and you ain't going to believe it.
But I hate to be a Debbie Downer about everything, but all I'm doing is looking at the numbers, and
getting discouraged.
I'm very discouraged. And it doesn't look. We could do this no matter if one person is watching. I could do that, but that's why we're going to 1 day a week. What's it? We're going to keep on doing it, and maybe things will change. I don't think they will, though. I don't know if there's a few of you that are real interested, but they're more that want to hear about what happened 10 weeks ago, or last year, or stuff that we can't do anything about right now. And we're still going to follow the Morphew case. I watched some of them hearing today. The Lauren report on the Morphew case. They had a hearing. Barry Morphew had a hearing, and he's trying to get hold of her laptop, Suzanne's laptop, and some other things like that in discovery. But the defense claims there's a big black hole on evidence. They can't get all the evidence. But that's just stuff that,
listen,
is out there.
Amber said, I agree with Medina. Just add the big names into the conversation briefly, add the tag, and then talk about the lesser known cases. Elizabeth says, sadly, many channels are thriving over the Gabby case. Other cases need more airtime. They're all at risk human beings, too. And Maui said, yes, Amber, the algorithm. T.S. Jackson said, good idea.
It's a great idea, but we're going to one day a week right now, because I can't. It's not feasible for me to do 2 days a week, edit 3 days a week. Right now on the other channel, I'm beginning to think that we're too old for YouTube, because the other channel
Speak
is
for
not
yourself.
Well, I'm too old for YouTube.
Okay.
Because the other channel is not thriving. It's 769 subs as of about 10 minutes ago. But
somebody is discouraged tonight, people.
It is something that I can work on. I mean, and try to build up, because right now I'm putting out 3 videos a week, sometimes more. Like tonight, I'm just sliding in a night lapse that I did the other night up here. But yeah, sure, it's easy to get discouraged like that when the numbers are like that. And when it costs money, I'm not asking for money. Don't send me no money tonight. That's what I'm telling you. Do not send me a dime of money tonight. But
I got $1.
but what I'm telling you is it does cost money to do this. It's not free. And unfortunately, and people are hurting.
Here, I got 14
Thank you.
cents.
I appreciate
I got
that.
14 cents.
Go out and buy me a
You can't buy nothing with 14
parking meter
cents.
for about 5 minutes.
I'm gonna
but
park you outside.
but I don't know. We just had an Amber Alert come out of well, it flopped up there and it went away. Came out of Clarksville, Georgia.
I hadn't made
Look that up. Look it up.
Look it up.
Clarksville, Georgia, Amber Alert.
All right.
But
look what they're saying while I do that.
And you know, I'm not being a Debbie Downer, but well, you know, Maui, I'm sorry right now. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to get my videos out on my other channel and to be here at night, even 2 nights a week. I'm struggling to do that. I don't, because if I'm going to do this channel right the way it needs to be done, it takes me about 5 or 6 hours to go through all the cases and read them out and look them up and find out if I've got all the information on that and everything. It takes me a while to do that. And it's either, you know,
it's a little boy. It's a car in Georgia. The toddler is still missing. The mother and father, I remember reading about this. They had gone shopping and they were taking the groceries in. And they left the child in the car seat while they were taking groceries in with the keys in the door somewhere. And when they came back out, the car was stolen. The car's been found, but the child is nowhere to be seen.
Let me see if I can pull this up.
He is a 1-year-old. I'm just going to tell you, this case sounds kind of funny to me. I can't imagine at dark leaving. I would take my child in and tell Tommy to get the groceries out of the car. Clarkston, Georgia.
Clarkston, Georgia.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull this picture up.
Anyway, it says officials are looking for a 1-year-old boy who went missing early Wednesday from the city of Clarkston. Bias Barnett was last seen wearing a black shirt with blue dinosaurs, a diaper, and no pants. He also was wrapped in a blanket. He was seated inside a gray 2002 Ford Explorer, which was stolen from the front of his home at 1 a.m. Around noon on Wednesday.
All right, hold on a minute.
Police located the car near a condo complex, but the child and the suspect were nowhere to be found. Police do not have a description for the suspect. Now, who leaves their kid in the car at 1 a.m. while they go in the house to take groceries with the keys in the car? I'm sorry. People have lost their mind. He's fixing to show y'all a picture.
And they've got the car that's on here also, but the okay. Here's the child and the car that he was in.
Well,
so
they found the car.
Well, that's fine, but maybe somebody saw the person driving the car and saw somebody take a baby out of the car.
This is an Amber Alert.
They would, if they saw this car or and a child and somebody in it, even if that's not, it had a paper tag on the back. It looks like a paper tag. We used to call that in police work a stop me tag, because to check it out, because a lot of stolen cars like that are run around with paper tags or a dealer tag. Dealer tags are nothing but that's an automatic car stop tag.
That baby is precious.
Yeah, he is. He's very precious. And but I'm like you. It might turn out to be something other than that. Who leaves their baby in the car at 1 o'clock?
1 a.m.
1 a.m.
The other article I read said they had gone to the grocery store and they were taking groceries in. But I'm thinking, afternoon, daylight, you're taking the groceries in. I still wouldn't have left my kid in the car. And especially not at 1 a.m. That's, to me, is crazy.
That is crazy.
Ah, Rhonda had steak dinner for supper. Rubbing it in there, girl.
Yeah. We're doing real good. We got 15 on right now, so that's pretty good.
Um, Sergeant Melinda's going to be on in just a few minutes. Why don't
We
you start?
We do want to remind everybody about
Yes.
this girl right here, missing from Hawaii, still missing, not been found that I know of. I don't know any more details about it.
Up, he's been found safe.
Oh, he has been
Yes,
found
it's
safe?
right here. It just showed up. The little boy has been found safe.
Well, that's good
That's
news.
I'm gonna tell you, that's really good, because I was having horrible thoughts in my mind about that family.
See, there you jumped to conclusions. And we want to remind everybody about this. This is a sign that everybody's saying that they should teach your kids, if they are taken or they're in a bad situation, don't have to be kidnapped. Just somebody's got a hold of them and they're not really supposed to go with them. But I would teach them to scream.
Not only that, but even a woman.
Would, yeah, but I'd teach them to scream,
Whoa, Charlie said the parents have been arrested.
Well, they've probably been arrested for neglect or whatever, being something stupid like
I didn't
that.
Think about that.
Leaving your kid out there in the car.
We could have been arrested.
Why?
For endangering our children. When we let Mindy get underneath the horse and rub its belly and take pictures and ride a wild pig and
that was your daddy.
And ride bareback on horses.
Yeah, I saw that picture the other day.
Rhonda saw that. Look,
her on the horse.
Rhonda said she saw the hand signal on the news. That means the bad guys will see it too.
Yeah. Break their hands or something, or tape their hands up, I don't know where Melinda is. That's kind of.
She sent me a message and said she'd be a few minutes late because she was finishing up dinner with her child. Go ahead and start it.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and start talking about some cases that. This all came out of the Gabby Petito case.
Yeah.
When they were. We have so many indigenous women and men missing all over the place, and one in particular really got excited when she saw all of the media reports and working in the Gabby Petito case and highlights and she saw the power of media attention. But for indigenous communities, it emphasized on lack of attention given the missing and murdered Native American people. The case of the missing 22-year-old Gabby Petito came to a tragic conclusion. And this was, of course, this article's a little old. When he talks about this week when the FBI reported her body had been found in a national park in Wyoming. And, you heard, too, while they were up there searching for her, they actually found a guy that had committed suicide up there in the mountains.
I thought they found more than one body.
I think 4 bodies total
in
the whole area and within a couple of states because of all the attention. So people were checking everywhere. It's just been during the frantic search for the young woman, news organizations, social media platforms across the U.S. were buzzing with a terrible update. The saga highlighted the incredible power of media attention to showcase a missing persons case and help it reach some type of timely resolution, no matter how dire. Though the search for Petito's killer continues, and this before Landry situation was, and let me stop right there and talk about that. There's a whole lot of conspiracy theories around that, whether it was not him, but apparently when they discovered him, he was Skeletor. I mean, there was not any type of meat on the bones or anything, the way I understand it. They supposedly, and this was what Dog the Bounty Hunter said, which I'm here to there on if it's true or not. But supposedly they did dental cast of his teeth, and supposedly the dentist, this is what they said, the dentist that did the dental cast was the uncle of Brian, which I don't know if he was or not. I don't think they've done DNA, is what I've understand. They're going to have to get the DNA from the bone marrow. I know they can do that because they take it out of dinosaur bones, and tell you what kind of dinosaur it is, and they could probably even make another dinosaur.
Aren't they making one of
Clone
those?
one.
Aren't,
What did they
aren't
clone?
they
Clone.
clone? Aren't
Yeah.
they cloning the big elephant with the husk? What that thing's called? Mammoth?
Yeah, mammoth. I
Oh,
don't know.
but yes.
No matter how dire through for the
But for many in the indigenous community,
thank
it
you.
also further emphasized the lack of attention and resources too often given to the scores of missing and murdered Native people in Wyoming and the rest of the country. In a report released early this year, researchers found that between 2011 and 2020, 710 indigenous people were reported missing across Wyoming, and that between 2000 and 2020, indigenous homicide victims accounted for 21% of all homicides, though
Hmm.
they only make up 3% of the state's population. Despite such staggering statistics, the report is a first of its kind for Wyoming found that white homicide victims were more likely than Native people to receive media coverage. And when Native cases did receive media attention, articles were more likely to include violent language or portray them as negative in a negative light compared to with stories about their white victims. It's sad to think that that's the way it is. Okay.
It'll disappear there in
Okay.
just a second.
Well, it won't be. I've already read that. We've seen the stories, talked with families that are sad and hurt that this is the way their loved ones are portrayed, said Emily Grant, senior research scientist at Wyoming Survey and Analysis Center, who led the research on this report. But it was heartbreaking to see the numbers and then to compare it to the stories about white victims or white missing people and see the discrepancy. One of the cases featured a report was that Nicole Wagon, a member of the Northern Arpoa tribe, who has had to face the disappearance and death of two of her daughters in the last 2 years. One of the daughters, Jocelyn 30, who Wagon described as a wonderful singer with a beautiful heart, was found shot to death in her home in central Wyoming at the beginning of 2019. Her murder has yet to be solved. A year later, Wagon filed a missing persons report for her younger daughter, Jade Wagon 23, after she didn't return to their home at Wind River Reservation. Weeks later, the body of her daughter, who she said was outdoorsy and would always make her laugh, was discovered in a field. Although law enforcement claims she died from hypothermia and drugs, Nicole Wagon said she has no doubt that she was murdered.
Well, she's found shot to death.
The second daughter wasn't. She was found outside in a field.
It's hardly believable that it was hypothermia. Like the guy that was shot 3 times and drug around the car. Worst case suicide I ever saw.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
That happened in the town we grew up in.
Well, we had a guy up here that it was on Redstone Arsenal, actually. He was found shot, handcuffed behind his back. A pistol was laying down beside his side, and they called it a suicide. That's honest to God's truth.
Well, tell him about that other one.
The other one was shot twice with a shotgun, drug around a car, put in the car, put a hose in the window, and they called it a suicide. Crazy.
Hey, Lake Superior. Look how pretty. Despite family okay, that's her youngest daughter. Look at that. How gorgeous. Look at those eyes. Despite the family's tragedies, there are little public attention to their deaths. It makes you feel like we don't matter. We're just a statistic, Wagon told The Guardian. And I'm like, my kids are not statistics. They are human beings and they had lives. And regardless of what people think or assume, they don't know their stories. The epidemic of missing and murdered Native American extends far beyond Wyoming, reaching every corner of the U.S. In April, the Department of Interior reported that about 1,500 American Indian and Alaskan Native people were listed missing in the National Crime Information Center, while thousands of other cases of murdered and non-neglect homicide or negligent homicides have been reported to the federal government.
Uniform Crime Reporting Program.
Yeah.
The same month, Deb Haaland, the first Indigenous cabinet secretary in the U.S. history, announced the formation of a new unit to investigate the problem. In the statement, she has described the violence against Native people as a crisis that has been underfunded for decades. This week, Haaland said she grieves for the Petito family, but that she also grieves for so many Indigenous women whose families have endured similar heartache for the last 500 years. And here's, I think this could be true in a lot of sense that some, Native American, they haven't trusted the government because the government has lied to them. And every peace treaty that's ever signed, the government has broken. That's
everyone.
it. Every single one of
That's
them,
right.
according to history, that they have broken every single peace treaty. And I've got you off of here, or me off of here. I
Okay,
don't know
stop
what
here.
the problem
Where's the
is.
oops. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know how to take it off. Hold on, people. The computer's getting really hot. Okay, there you go. Now,
But they've broken every single peace treaty that's out there, so they don't trust the government anyway.
In 2008, the Justice Department reported that Native women on some tribal lands were murdered at more than 10 times the national average, and yet too often their cases are overlooked or even outright ignored. This is crazy, people. Women are disappearing in Indian and dying in Indian country. We must act now. President Trump signed the Indigenous American Act, and I don't know that anything's making a difference.
Well, it's like I said, until they get more law enforcement on the reservation to investigate, seasoned investigators, and the FBI's greatest. I've got several friends in the FBI, and they tell me themselves their number one job in the FBI right now is fighting terrorism. They're number one. So, and they're few and far between out there. So it's a federal reservation. It's not local police have no authority or even jurisdiction out there.
Okay, it says Carolyn DeFord, founder of Missing and Murdered Native Americans and National Advocacy Outreach Organization, said there's not even a missing poster for some of these Indigenous women, let alone media coverage. Where's the attention for ours? Where's the attention for Ruthie Fawn Kindness? For Rosita Longe? Where is her attention? She was a beautiful young Native woman who the FBI searched. Where's the FBI searches and the camera crew and the dog squads to find her? DeFord said she would like to see consistency in the investigation and resources put out there for families, but at the bare minimum, she said every family of a missing person should get a poster, their police report, and a list of resources to help them, such as an advocacy organization, national missing database, and even news media out contact. NBC's doing they're doing a weekly program, isn't it, called Missing in America?
Mm-hmm.
But so far, have they done any of the Native American women that you've noticed? I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
So, even that now you've got a major news channel that is focusing on missing in America, but they're not including all Americans, and it's true. And I'm just going to say it the way I feel. It seems like if you are of a certain color, you get on the news, you get on the posters and everything a whole lot quicker than you do if you've got an off color, you know? And to me, that's wrong. I think it doesn't matter. If my child's Korean, if she came up missing, I would want her face out there everywhere. Um,
And, I forget that she's not in the same race as I am. I tell her a lot of times in the summer, I'll put my arm beside her and I said, "Look, I'm a lot darker than you are." 'Cause she used to be out the beach every day and she get real dark, but now she's in an office every day and she doesn't do that. So I said, "Look at there, I'm whiter than you are." She said, "Dad, I'm not white." I said, "Yeah, you are. You're white." She says, "No, Dad, I'm Asian. I forgot what color she says she is, but she's not
okay,
white."
Melinda, go to the top of the chat. Tommy put that link at the very top. Brian said tribal land is sovereign land in Oklahoma. There are only people from the tribe. They have their own laws, their own police. So how can anyone be to blame outside the tribe? The tribe and the federal government need to
Well,
work together
well,
because the
the
tribe.
federal government's the only one that can go on there along with their police. The federal agencies, FBI, the Department of Interior, they have jurisdiction on that land. The FBI can go out there and investigate it because it's a federal reservation. However, the federal government has been supporting they're supposed to be supporting the Indian reservations. They need to beef up their law enforcement. I know for a fact on some reservations out there in the Southwest, you have like 3 police officers to uh to enforce land, the the southern half of Utah or something. It's well, I don't even know how many that are out there in Monument Valley. That it's like it's a quarter. It's probably 400,000 or 500,000 acres of mostly desert and other land out there, and I don't think there's a handful of officers that handle that out there. So it's a lot of us because they don't have enough people, you know. Um, where did you leave off?
DeFord said she would like to see consistency.
Terry, I can't pronounce that. Daughter, um, has been missing for a year and a half. She's not a single article has been written about her. The 17-year-old who said she liked to skateboard and go shopping had run away from her home in Post Falls, Idaho, and had been staying with friends, but she ended up at a home with a man uh, described as a sexual predator and then later disappeared. If she's off the reservation, then she is fair game for the local police. Doesn't matter where she's from or if she's Indian or black or white or whatever, she's off the reservation. And this poor little child, yeah, Dasheen, I think this is the girl that ran away. She doesn't look 17. It's
Gosh,
Kiana
no.
Clump 17. Um, this Dashina, I don't know. I'm horrible with names. The member of the Telegat tribe said for months she put up flyers all around the area, posted on social media, but when she tried to get her daughter's disappearance to the broader audience, she consistently came up short. All I got in my pocket is Facebook and just social media. That's all I got. I don't get any help from any other place. I begged. I just feel left out, unimportant, she said. Verna Volkers, founder of the Native American Running and Missing and Murdered Indigenous activists in Minneapolis, Minnesota, said she started noticing the attention surrounding Petito's disappearance and decided to check on Ella Mae Begay, a Navajo Nation elder and master weaver missing since June. She said she found less than 5 stories on YouTube. But she said Petito's case and the disparity is it has showcased may have an impact on the situation. I think this tragedy actually opened more eyes of wow, this is happening to your women and we want to do better, said Folker. In the last week, Del Ford's Missing and Murdered Native American Instagram page gained more than
Good.
1,000 new followers. She said it's unclear if it's related to the Petito case or just coincidence.
I didn't know they had an Instagram page.
Do now.
Okay, what was it?
It is Del Ford's Missing and Murdered Native American.
Okay.
Native Americans. Missing and murdered Native Americans. At the same time, Nicole Wagon, who is still waiting for answers on her daughter's death, said that in recent days her family has suddenly become flooded by requests from the news media. Thank the Lord. She said maybe it's a blessing that Petito's case happened here because all of this is shedding light to our state of Wyoming. And Wyoming is it is probably my favorite state in the whole United States is Wyoming. It's unbelievably beautiful and rural. It is rural. It is very, very rural. The whole state's almost a national park. It's unbelievable. America is facing crucial tests in the coming year with the future of democracy and our planet under threat. Quality journalism that is freely accessible and reflects the urgency of the moment will be critical in the struggles ahead. For 10 years, The Guardian U.S. has pioneered award-winning journalism that looks at American through a global lens. Globally, more than 1.5 million readers from 180 countries have recently taken the step to support The Guardian financially, keeping us open to all and fiercely independent. With no shareholders or billionaire owners, we can set our own agenda, provide trustworthy journalism to free and commercial and political influence. Let's see if that says. Basically, they're trying to just bring light. The Guardian is trying to bring light to the indigenous missing women primarily, but there's a lot of men missing also. And it says here we offer, and it just basically tells about it during the global pandemic and all that. And I didn't realize that was even in there. But what is
Melinda's been trying to
she's
get on.
trying to get
Yep.
on? I don't know
She's
what the
got
problem is.
phone. It's her phone. But what we need to understand is that that we need to be a voice for those that cannot speak. And these Native American women, children, men that are being kidnapped and killed, they need our help too.
Maybe we ought to try to get a hold of one of these out there that we're on here saying they don't get any media attention and see if we can get them online and talk to here online. I mean, we're not a big enough platform, but maybe one of these other guys that have these massive audiences would pick them up also.
Well, it would be nice, but you know, if it's not
going to be.
if it's not clickbait, people don't want it.
Right.
But anyway, to me, anybody, no matter what their color, no matter what their race, no matter what their sexual orientation, anybody that comes up missing, that has just disappeared from their family's life, they deserve to be found, no matter what. And so, because of that, we're going to continue to highlight the cases that don't get as much,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't get.
We'll do it as long as we can. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
right.
We're running into 45 minutes here and me bumping my gums. So let's go into what we were gonna
Okay, wait a
tell
minute.
you
No,
about.
wait. Amber said, Thomas, I think it would be a good idea to add hashtags to your videos to help promote them. Also, links in the description about the cases.
Yes, I understand what you're
Okay.
saying. Yes. Well, I do run
It kind of went over
tags.
my head.
My tags, if you see my tags, I tag it. My tags, I try to. That's where I try to, but I will try that and see if it does because I don't. Something has got to help for sure. Well, listen, we're going to tell you about something
I
that.
want to tell them.
Yeah, ma'am. We're going to tell you about something that Dina discovered and it shocked me. Totally shocked
Stop.
me.
Stop. Oh, you going to bite me?
Well, you ain't get dog bit.
I'm about to get dog bit.
Uh,
Gracie, leave the cat alone.
right here, we're going to talk about
Okay,
the U.S.
so
mail.
the U.S. mail. You are not going to believe this. Well, you might know this. I didn't know it. And so, anyway, the U.S. mail in about the turn of the century, 1900s, within 6 months, they were taking over 6 million packages. They had processed over 6 million packages. So they would take just about anything. You could put anything in the post office and they'd ship it. Can you? Okay. So anyway,
Down to this one or
wait.
this
Right here,
one.
that one. So if you had a grandchild, this is no lie, that wanted to go and see their grandparents across the country, a train ticket cost a lot of money. Well, I don't know which parent decided to do it first, but someone took their child, go up here, to the post office with a tag on them with postage, and they shipped them. They shipped these children
How's this?
across country.
And you can see
these postal carriers.
they're in like babies are in these things. This is another picture.
Look at
The
this.
child is in the postal bags right here. All
And they
three
said
of
they
those
were
children.
well taken care of. Now, we don't know that for sure about all of them, but they were well taken care of. And the little girl that, was mailed
This
her.
is the other picture. This was the girl
That was the girl
that got
that
stopped it all. She was shipped. Go ahead.
Yeah, she was shipped to her grandmother's across country, made it just fine. And when it became well known, of course, then there was a black eye of the Postal Service, so they quit shipping children. I'm sorry.
But
it just is crazy that
But look, the little baby's inside the mail guy's bag
with a stamp on him.
with a stamp on the kid. There's another one here.
Look at that baby.
Baby's in this. A postal guy is going out. Now I don't know how did he carry him in his buggy or his truck? Were there a bunch of them in there? Did they have car seats?
How many days did it take? No, it
Right.
didn't have car
Did
seats.
they take them home with them?
That's a good question. It'd be
I mean,
nice
you
to
know
have
what
been.
I mean?
You know what? We may need to do some research on that.
Yeah, see here, the baby was in the mail bag. I mean, he don't look thrilled. That guy doesn't.
Have any of y'all ever heard that?
I have never heard it. She is the one that how she got. I guess she just walked beside the guy. But this right here is another picture, of course, on the other one. I mean, these babies, they're not little. They're not big enough to walk beside the guy. I don't know.
Melinda. Okay, Melinda, I don't know
It was
what
the strangest thing I never heard.
I don't know what I went up and I clicked on that that StreamYard that Tommy sent you, and it took me right to where I needed to go. I agree, Amber. It is hard not to laugh. I mean, it is unbelievable that it'd be nice to have a stamp.
I mean, how much did it cost too? It was cheaper than putting them on a train.
Yeah,
it was cheaper than setting them on a buggy across the thing, and they didn't really had the. Oh, I guess the postman changed the diaper. I mean, you look at the guy on the left; he don't look happy at all.
Hey, Melinda, I clicked on it and it took me right to the place I needed to put my name in and come right into the channel. So I don't know what's going on. T.S., they said the children were well taken care of. And we know that there were pedophiles back then, but let's hope that all these people were
And
good
my
people.
daddy was born in 1918, a year before
It's okay,
World War
Melinda. Don't worry
One.
about it.
Don't worry about it. We can catch up next time.
Yeah, Amber,
You
just throw a
you
stamp on them.
missed my big rant earlier anyway.
No, she didn't. She was listening.
Oh,
She
was
said
she?
she's going to get on to you. Amber, wonder how much it would cost for me to mail Tommy back down to
Yeah,
Dakota.
yeah. I'd probably be a big. They weighed me about. What is that? We went into a museum the other day, a
Copper.
Jewish museum, and they had a thing where you stand up on the scales, and it tells you how much you're worth, your weight's worth, in copper and aluminum and plastic. And I think plastic I was worth about $18. I think aluminum I was copper I was $600 worth of copper.
Yeah, no, you don't need a babysitter. Yeah, and I agree, Lynn. I when I saw this morning, I was in shock. First of all, and then I'm like,
I thought
like
she was
Amber.
lying.
He did. And then I'm like, Amber, you can't help but laugh. What the heck? What parent does this?
Well, I mean, and it's cheaper than the train.
I know, but I would never have trusted Mindy to be put in somebody's mail sack to take to Dad's.
Well, I bet you say they're shipping them to from here, or say from Wisconsin to the coast, and it takes 2 or 3 days. Probably what they did is one mail handler would give it to another mail handler, and they would feed them and get changed the diaper. But it would just went on.
Okay, well, how long did it take to get from Wisconsin to New York City? Think about that. Yeah. Back then, well, they did have trucks, but still.
Well, just think, it's about, if I took from your daddy's in Tennessee up to here, it's about a 11-hour drive if you do it straight on.
Right.
11 hours. So with the trucks like that, a small truck, and the roads are not like they are right now, because Daddy said it would take him to drive in his old.
He had to stop and change flat tires all the time.
It might take 3 days to go that far.
I don't know, y'all, but I think I'm going to do a little bit more research on this and see if I can find a postman's journal to read. Or
listen to T.S. Jackson there.
Oh my gosh. We used to take unaccompanied minors home with us if their flights were canceled. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
and what we know today, I would have never done that. But also, as a parent, I would be losing my mind.
Yeah, well,
who got paid a lot, Melinda? Not the postal workers didn't get paid a lot. Oh, they were on moonshine, morphine, and cigarettes. Oh yeah, my gosh.
That's you talking about the postal workers back there in the day. Yeah.
Gracie,
leave the
Moses
cat alone. Leave the cat alone. I'm gonna put you down there.
Yes, this was I agree. It was a very interesting story. I was looking at a YouTube channel that had some weird things. If you go and look at man takes a picture of his pregnant wife, this was in the middle of all of that. It was talking about pictures and how they tell a story that you may not know. And like there was a little girl standing on a cliff, and
if you take a picture, you ever took a picture and then when you got home,
talking.
Okay, go ahead.
The little girl was standing on the cliff, and behind her were boots from a soldier from World War One.
No, it was samurai.
No, it was a World War One.
No, you read again. I watched it.
Okay.
It's a samurai. What have you ever? Are you through so I can talk?
Yes.
Okay.
You interrupted me.
I apologize. Can I speak now?
I forgive you.
Okay. Can I speak now?
I don't know.
All right. Have you ever taken a picture and you don't see the picture now as much because everything's digital? But have you ever taken a picture and you're looking at that picture and you see something in the background you can't explain? It's something. But we took a picture one time of Dakota and me. I'm in uniform.
I took it.
Okay. I'm in uniform and Dakota's standing beside me. And there's a woman behind him with another girl, young girl. And that woman looks exactly like my dead mother.
And
with the same clothes, with the same sunglasses, with the same hair. If I didn't know better that she was already deceased, I would swear to you that was my mother.
In fact, let me tell you, I was showing Pop the picture I had made because Dakota was 4 years old and he was holding a puppet. He was into puppets then, and he was holding a puppet in his hand, and Tommy was in his uniform. And I said, Pop, look how great this picture is, Tommy's daddy. And he said, that's a really good picture of Evelyn. And I said, no, I'm talking about Tommy and Dakota. And he said, I know, but look at that picture of Evelyn. I said, Pop, that can't be Mom. She's been dead for 30 years or more. And he was like, well, who is that woman?
Yeah, man, he thought it was my mother too. I mean, it looks exactly like her. When I saw it, I didn't even look at me and Dakota. I looked there. I said, that can't be Mama. I mean, that can't be my mama. Mama's gone. What, you know what I mean?
It was very weird.
It was weird. It was real weird.
Give me that tail. You better stop.
I got you highlighted up here too much here.
But now we believe in strange things that do happen, because when Mindy was 2, she was sitting in the floor and she was playing and she was talking to herself. And you know how it is.
No need to worry.
No, we ain't gonna fight. Anyway, she was sitting in the floor at 2 years old talking to herself, and I was crocheting at that time. And you know how as a parent you're not listening to your child, they're just blah 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 blah. And then it
was in chat.
It was in chat at the very top, Melinda. And anyway, all of a sudden you key into what they said. And I looked at Mindy because she was saying, no, I'm not coming over there. No, I'm not coming over there. And I said, Mindy, honey, who are you talking to? And she said, Grandma Green. Now, at this time, we didn't have a single picture in our house of Tommy's mother. There wasn't any pictures up of anybody in the house. And I said, Mindy, where does Grandmother Green live? And she said, in heaven with Jesus. And she said, no, I'm not coming over there. Go sit by my mommy. And I felt a breeze go by me. That house, his parents had given us that house. They lived in it for 20 years. They wanted to move to the river. They let us live in it. And his mother died before we got married, 3 months before we got married. And when
tell them about looking at the book.
Yeah. So then about 6 months later, we were looking at an album, and Mindy pointed and said, Grandma Green. And it was Tommy's mother, the way she would have looked in the 20s. I mean, when she was in her 20s and 30s. And so that was bizarre. We would come home. Mindy had a collection of music boxes, and we would come home sometimes. Nobody's been in the house.
I'm going to try to show y'all something. I'm going to go over to my...
Nobody's been in the house.
Keep talking, because I'm going to go to my Facebook and I'm going to pull up something real quick.
Okay. Nobody's been in the house all day. We come in and the music boxes are still going. There's some of them going. And I'm like, okay, who has been in this house? Another thing that happened was there were some people at the house, girls at the house one night, and Mindy was little and she was in her bed, and I heard her start crying. And no, nobody was at the house this time. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I was asleep. Tommy had gone back to work. And so Mindy started crying, and I heard her crying. And you know when a baby cries and they go when you're patting them, she was doing that. And so I thought, oh my gosh, somebody's in there with my baby. And I went running in there, and there was nobody in there. But I heard that nobody say, hush, baby, don't cry. That happened twice. The second time it happened, there were people at my house.
I'm fixing to show y'all a picture if I can. I thought I just downloaded this.
But anyway, I'm sure y'all got stories of things that make you go,
Yeah. Fixing to show you in honor of my father on Veterans Day and my mother. Both of them have passed. This is my dad and my mom just before he went overseas in World War II. And
this is the picture that Mindy said, Mama Green.
Yeah, I'll let it download here. And If you notice in World War II, they always cocked their hats sideways. This was my mom and my dad.
Look at that little bitty waist.
Yeah, she was, and she has a lot of Jewish blood in her. You can see it. In fact, she worked for a store when they lived in we all lived in Florence, Alabama, and they were Jewish people that owned it, and they absolutely just adopted her.
When Tommy's daddy was young, there's a picture of him, and people thought he looked like Clark Gable.
Yeah, he
He
was a
handsome
nice looking
dude.
guy. Hey, I got another picture when he was in the Philippines that it says device not connected. That
She's still trying.
he was in the Philippines and he was standing without a shirt on and a towel kind of wrapped around his waist too. I guess I don't know, but he got malaria in World War II. He got dengue fever the first time, and then right after that he got malaria. But he did have a Bronze Star with Valor, and he lived to 91 years old. So he went overseas. His daddy said he'd be back in 6 months, and he was gone 4 years. Was in occupied Japan, Philippines, New Guinea. He fought alongside a lot of good Australians too. He had stories about that. But that is my mom and my dad. They're both in heaven right now. There's no doubt in my mind.
T.S. said, I did see a spook at my daddy's house. I don't know. Does that mean a ghost? A spook?
A haint.
Is it a ghost?
A haint.
I saw
spook,
I'm not
haint.
going to say I saw a ghost. I saw a spirit at the end of my bed one night. I woke up and it was his mother. Hey.
Maggie.
Okay, I'm talking about ghosts and she's going to go barking.
Maggie.
That's Joe. It's
Maggie,
Joe.
it's Joe. Maggie, it's Joe.
Come here.
Come here.
It's Joe.
Come
it's
here.
Just
it's just
Joe.
Joe is the guy that lets us stay on his property while we're up here in Wisconsin. He's a super guy. He's like our kid, but he's 40 years old, I guess now. Maybe.
He's old enough to be our kid.
He's old enough to be our kid. That's bad when you say that. Your Gramps got T.S. Jackson, your Gramps got malaria too. You know, my father can be outside with me. I could be eaten up by mosquitoes. Mosquitoes wouldn't even bother him. They wouldn't even land on him. I think they'd land on him if they flew away.
Father-in-law. When I married
He was
him,
a hoot.
when I married him, I got 2. I got a
He would
honeydew.
say anything at a restaurant, and he was totally, no filter. No filter at all.
If y'all know how to play Tonk, it's a card game. It's a poker game, and we play it for $0.25 a hand at our house. And one night we were playing, and I always wear 2 or 3 shirts because I'm cold natured. So I had on a long sleeve shirt, and underneath it I had on another shirt. And it's God calling. And and I went and to take my shirt off, and when I did, he said, "Wait a minute, I didn't know we was playing that kind of poker." He would kill me. He was so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so T.S. Jackson, it was a ghost. Supposedly her name was Florence. Okay.
Haint's different from just playing ghost now. Haint, is one of those scare you type.
Okay.
All right.
Our dogs are getting antsy.
Yeah, they're going to have to go. I'm sorry we couldn't get Melinda on tonight. Maybe another time for sure. But
she's supposed to come on next week.
I'll put it in the community page what day we are going to be on. I don't want to bump heads
Come out
with anybody else big if I can.
If anything major happens, we will come on.
Yeah.
If we have some information that needs to come, like the Gabby Petito case.
But if you want to really find out what we're up to,
okay,
visit our other channels, the 1 Million Mile Road Trip or Instagram. Also, Dina posts a whole lot on Instagram.
Thank you. That's all I needed was.
But our dogs are wanting to go out.
Okay.
They ate a little while ago, and I guess they're getting antsy.
Look at that dog. Look right there. Oh, where'd he go? She got down.
So thanks for coming, and Thanks for always being here, and we hope to see you next time.
Maggie,
God bless y'all.
Look at the camera. Look. You see the baby? You see the baby?
Good night.